What's up, y'all? What's going on, everybody? Let me know if y'all can hear me good in the chat. I think you should be able to hear me okay. There we go. What's up, everybody? I gotta excuse the noise outside. Hope y'all are doing okay. So I don't want to keep this. I don't want to keep this too long. I really want to get rolling on this topic. I know this is going to be something that everybody's been talking about since the death of a couple top bodybuilders like Cedric McMillan. You saw he died recently. Y'all saw George Peterson died. Y'all saw Sean Roden died. And I just felt like, at this time, I don't really like to piggyback and be talking on deaths and stuff like that. But I thought it was a good opportunity to leave a message with anybody who's coming up, and I can kind of use my own personal examples of what caused me to slow down a certain amount of times and take my foot off the gas as well. That way you guys kind of know, because when you start off bodybuilding, you may decide to go in whatever direction, you know what I mean? And everybody who was a top level person started off as a lower level person at some point. And so, make sure you keep that in mind, that we all start at the same spot in the gym, and then you might get hooked and you just don't know if you'll get hooked or not. And so there's some things to consider. And I know with me, coming up, I had to figure it out for myself, because it wasn't, a lot of, it was taboo to talk about certain things. And so I've come to an understanding where now I know myself. There's less confusion on what it is that I want from my body, all this other stuff. So hopefully I can share some insight with you guys, so that if you had any confusion or anything that you were, considering, or any thoughts about, why these bodybuilders are dying, or why, how to make it healthy and all this other stuff, we'll cover a couple things. I'm not gonna get too in depth, but hopefully some of this, some of my messages resonate with you, right? So the first thing I want to talk about is bodybuilding it's not a sport like that. It's really a culture. You know what I'm saying? Like, it started off as a culture. Like, yeah, they was competing. Yeah, back in the day, they were always competing. There was always shows, and it was a big thing and stuff like that. And it was a spectacle, in the 80s and the 70s. It was, I've been told it was still huge back then, like magazines and all this stuff. But it's more of a pageant. You know what I mean? Not necessarily a sport. It was, I've talked to some people who put me on, and even my father told me. He said back then, when they did like the Mr. Olympias and those Mr. things, like the universe and all this stuff, like people, they had different things they had to talk about. Like, you had to come out there in a suit. You would also have to come out there as couples. You know what I'm saying? Like, a man and a woman would go at the same time on stage, and they would win the whatever category that was for the Olympian, stuff like that. So it was more of a pageant. You know what I mean? And that made sense. And I feel like, as it kind of got into the hardcore direction, and it was like, oh, I got to put my head down and work hard and grow and this and that and that. I'm not saying everybody's a mass monster, but just the psychological concept of, oh, I got to work hard, I got to grow, I got to get big, I got to be better than all this other stuff. That's different now. You know what I mean? So it didn't start off that type of way. It was more fun. People was doing it. It was new, getting into it. It was more of a culture and wanting to be a part of something of a movement. You know what I mean? So what we have now, this type of bodybuilding that we have now is two different things. Okay, y'all have the competitive bodybuilding, and then you got the fitness industry, which is kind of intertwined, unfortunately, you know what I mean? But the bodies are kind of like, one and the same, you know what I mean? Like, you could compete, or you could just look good on Instagram, or you could do this. So it's one of those things where whatever it is that you aspire to be, you kind of got to know, which direction you're trying to go, because, you could do some, if you try to get there too fast, or if you have big goals and you want to, get there quicker, you may run into some roadblocks. Okay. So keep that in mind. Okay. It's a culture, and bodybuilding as an organization should be like a pageant first and foremost. Okay. To talk about different things you got going on, and to make that Mr. America overall, why he's healthy, why he's this, why he represents, all these different things. And so right now it's kind of veered from that. You know what I mean? Now it's kind of veered from that. It's not the same way it used to be. Okay. Now, the second thing I want to say is, you can't really win or lose in the culture. Anybody who's been in the culture, and you're a part of something, a part of a bodybuilding, that lifestyle is a lifestyle. So you looking best for yourself is the only thing you need to be concerned about. Not looking best for what the judges may say about you, what may happen when you get on stage and all this other stuff. That's what messes you up when you start competing, from whatever position you're in. I don't care if you're going to do NPC or whatever. If you're a novice, or even if you've been competing for a while, like I know a lot of y'all dudes, you might have been competing for a while, but your mind may not remember that this is supposed to be fun. You know what I mean? Because you've gotten so deep into it, like, nah, I lost my last one only by a couple points. The next one, I just got to improve it. And then you so trapped in the, you know what I'm saying, the cycle of trying to beat that next show and beat that next thing and trying to do a show even faster because you was this close last time and you got second place. Like, I get it. You know what I mean? But remember, it's supposed to be fun. Like, it's a lifestyle. It's not, it's you work out to look phenomenal and then you present that package that you had anyway into the gym, not trying to get to the nastiest, shreddest, leanest, you know what I'm saying, most, you know, gnarly look ever as a natural person. You know what I'm saying? So keep that in mind, okay? Like, let it be something that you can be proud of yourself versus going into it trying to please these judges and stuff like that, or please whoever else is looking at you. Because 90% of the time, you got your clothes on anyway, right? So what's the matter? Okay, now the next thing I want to say is building your body naturally with your own set of problems is going to be a challenge in itself off the rip. Okay, so a lot of y'all, you might run into different struggles with your own physique where maybe it's hard for you to lose fat, maybe it's hard for you to gain weight, maybe it's hard for you to have these different, and your body just won't cooperate. Sometimes that happens, but see, here's the beauty of it. Like, all whatever God put on this planet for you, everything that's here, you should be able to make a masterpiece out of your own frame. You only have to figure out what works for you and pick and choose stuff. You shouldn't have to go the route of getting extra things and enhancements to get you there. Like, there's enough vitamins, there's enough fruits and vegetables, there's enough everything to get you looking phenomenal without having to do too much extra stuff. So always keep that in mind. If you ever feel like, well, I got to take all these supplements just to maintain, I got to do this to burn fat, and I just need to get this extra layer of fat off, and then I'll know what I like. Listen, God put it all here for you. You know what I'm saying? Figure that project out first before you start looking for, you know, alternative avenues to get you to that next level. Okay, and here's another thing that I want to say. When I say build yourself on your own set of problems, now here's an example that I want to give you, like I was talking about earlier. Okay, so y'all know I was competing like back in 2017 or so. I was competing back in 2017. 2016, I think 2015 I competed too. But then I started realizing that I was having little body issues, like I was retaining a lot of fluid in my legs and stuff, right? Now, I also was it was feeling like it was hard for me to pee. You know what I mean? And like certain times I felt like my kidneys were feeling funny. And I was taking creatine, I was taking all these different supplements, I was eating all my meals. Now, yeah, I look phenomenal or whatever like that. But I was putting a band-aid on the little things that I had going on inside of me, right? Because I was like, yeah, that don't feel right. But at the same time, I'm still gonna, you know, I'm gonna still push through it, and hard work pays off, and I'll get to that thing later. Well, the problem with that is that, see, imagine me as being somebody who's natural, right? Now, take somebody who's a professional level bodybuilder, and they may have something else going on, and they're also taking enhancement things that are going into their bodies to I don't want to say what they can do, because certain things do certain things, you know what I mean? But if you have your own natural set of ailments, and then you're adding other stuff on top of that, you know what I'm saying? You're never really going to get a chance to peel back the layers and resolve your normal issues first. And so, like, you know, I was watching a video with Charles Glass, and he was like, go to the doctor, go to the doctor. Yeah, go to the doctor in the first place. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially if you got something wrong with you, like, be checked up and fix that stuff first. But if you got something that's going on with you, take time off and finish that. If you got an injury, take time off and finish that. Like, let that recover. Nobody's going to call you a chump because you was out of the gym for a certain amount of time. Like, you'll bounce back. You know what I'm saying? And maybe it's just not your season right now. Like, it's not your time to be pushing through and taking extra stuff just so that you can grow and look cute for your friends and be on Instagram. Like, that's not important right now. Like, get your health together from your body. I talk to my friends all the time, and we'll be chopping up, and I'm like, man, I had this issue with such and such, and my body was doing this, and they be like, word, yeah, me too. I'm having an issue with such and such. Did you go to the doctor? Yeah, I went to the doctor. Did you go to the doctor? Nah, not yet. Okay, so you in the gym, but you're not the doctor, right? So my thing is, yeah, you have to go to the doctor, especially if you have something going on with you, because it could lead to something else. Now, what I want to say is, had I continued to go and push through that issue, I may have gotten kidney damage. I may have did something to my, you know, to my liver or something like that, or done any type of thing. Like, certain things could have enhanced that. And that's just with taking supplements over the counter that you can get online or Amazon, something like that. Now imagine this same body, and I said, you know what? I want to compete. I want to be in the Olympia. Now, first of all, I know my physique is phenomenal. I'm not saying I could never do that, because I personally believe I can do anything I want to. So if I wanted to compete in the Olympia and I wanted to put that size on, I'm sure I could put that size on. I would just have to sacrifice that stuff. But to push that hard with the current issues that I got now, why would I want to go that hard? You see what I'm saying? Like, and if I had anything like a heart problem, why would I want to go that hard if I already got a heart problem? You see what I'm saying? Because you got to remember, the heart is your muscle too, and that has to pump blood into the rest of your muscles, into the rest of your body. But the heart doesn't grow. So while everything else grows, and maybe if you take an HGH or something like that, maybe your other organs will grow too. But your face will grow, your jawbone grows, all this stuff. You know what I mean? Like, and at that point, like you can never go back to homeostasis to where you were, because now you've changed everything on your body. And so you got to remember, like, y'all got to stay away from certain things unless you're going to go down that path. And that's what's serious for you. And I'm only saying this because, like, there may be a guy at some point watching one of my videos who's like, you know what? Should I hop on something or should I stay natural? And you're going to kind of have this idea. You know what I mean? Like, is it really worth it in the long run? Because you look at it and, you know, you cross that bridge, and maybe nowadays, the guys who are getting into it, yeah, they got more stuff to take. Yeah, they have more technology, so to speak, right? But what's the lifespan? You know what I'm saying? Are you getting there fast to max out shorter? And so, you know, certain parts of your body aren't supposed to develop that fast. And when you're moving them that fast, trying to get them to expedite and grow quickly, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're gonna pay for it in the long run. And so keep that in mind. I'm not saying you're always gonna pay for it in the long run, but there's a possibility that you could pay for it in the long run. You know, it's a chance. There's a chance. The next thing I want to say is, now steroids are illegal. Okay, keep this in mind. They're illegal, and they're probably illegal for a reason. I don't know where they're illegal at, but they're illegal. So anything that happens when you do something illegal, the consequences are on you. You know what I mean? Like, that's on you. Like, you can't come back and look at nothing later on and down the line and be like, well, how come this doesn't? How come this doesn't? Well, that's why. You know what I'm saying? Because that's on you. So when you take that chance, there's no turning back from that. You feel me? So yeah, do your research on what possible things can happen to you if that happens, or, you know, whatever can, you know, be the case if you take this, or side effects. Do your own personal research on that, right? But aside from doing your own personal research, just remember that they're illegal, and, you know, when you do stuff that's illegal, things come back around and haunt you, right? So keep that in mind, okay? Now, the other thing is, when you're taking stuff like that, and here's what I want to mention about some of these bodybuilders who I've seen, and of course I've done different shows. I've done NPC shows, I've done regular shows, or natural shows, and so I've competed against dudes who was clearly on something, and I've talked to dudes who was on stuff and who was off stuff, and some of my friends have been on and off, and they tell me about how they feel when they're on it. And from what I've gathered from the information that I see, and the reason why I decided to stay away, is because what can happen is it can enhance your attitude as well. And so if you're already somebody who's, you know, sensitive about something and emotional, and like, well, you know, they may not love me, and the judges may feel this way, or I just need to do better to compete, and I might need to, you know, like, I just need to prove myself, and if I just do this, and you got all these insecurities, when you're on that stuff, you're gonna be even higher insecurities. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's everything's enhanced. And so at that point, you more of what you were already. And so as you're enhancing yourself, you know, be aware that you may not really be being yourself. And they say, like, you get that rage and stuff like that. From to my knowledge, if you're already a happy person, it's supposed to make you happier. If you're already an angry person, it's gonna make you angry. You're gonna rage out. You know what I'm saying? So certain things, it can affect your personality, right? So if it's affecting your personality, and you have that desire to keep on going, and you're a compulsive person and want to do more and more and more, that may be the case. Everything can get enhanced. You see what I'm saying? And so when your personality is involved in this stuff too, it's going to take you to a place where maybe you don't want to be, you know, and maybe you can never come back from. Now, one thing I want to say is, if you are deciding to compete and you are going to go forward and you want to, you know, get your body right and max out and stuff like that, natural organizations are cool to start. But like I said earlier in the video, try just to do what you can do best with your body first. Max out your body and see what you can do. And once you've maxed out your body and you feel great about it, then go step on stage and see where you rank. But don't start trying to, you know, compare yourself to others and say, well, I need to get my legs up to him because he has this or she has that, and her body looks like this, so when I do this, I need to be like that. Like, don't do that. Just try to become the best version of what you can do with your own body. Max out yourself first, and then go show off and see where you fall. You know, let the chips fall where they lay, and then it is what it is at that point. You know, and so, you know, don't stress, because some things come with age, You may not be what you want to be right now, but at the same time, you know, I think that I'm making these videos right now in 2022, and I've been around since like 2017 making videos. I don't think that's good. If I stay clear, even if I still look great, you know, once I start showing my shape again and everything, once I'm still looking great, I feel like, you know, it won't really matter if I did, you know, that I didn't get on anything. I think I'll still be able to have added value to the fitness community or whatever in some type of way, regardless of whether, you know, I didn't take steroids or whatever like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm still an important person. And so you guys can remember that too. Like you can still add value to something just because you don't go the same path as everybody else. It doesn't mean that, you know, you're not equally as important. You know what I'm saying? So it's okay to be different, and it's okay to not follow the trend and do what everybody else is doing just so that you can get to this goal faster. You know what I mean? And then on top of that, for most of you guys who are listening, remember, chicks don't even like that. Like women don't even be into that. so it's no reason for you to be trying to chase that goal like that. Like it's not that important. You know what I mean? I feel like if all top bodybuilders say, you know what, we're gonna just stop and just compete all on an even playing field, you know, they still gonna look great. You're gonna see people come out of the woodworks who are like, you know what, if this is it, now, you know, this is something I want to be a part of. And I'm sure that there's guys out there who, you know, wouldn't even bodybuild. You know, dudes out there who don't have any feelings or come from a place where they was neglected as a kid or had emotional damage when they were younger, and now they, you know, this person trying to prove themselves because they are worthy and they got all these, you know, emotional issues and stuff like that. Now, you know, those guys may not compete. Maybe the more responsible people who just want to show their body off will compete. You know what I mean? And so, or compete. And then when I say compete, I mean getting on stage to reflect what other people who are inspired, you know, would like to see. So you can inspire people from a better body standpoint versus inspiring them from something that's so high risk that you look like you're about to die all the time. You know what I'm saying? So, all right. Hopefully you guys learned something. Let me go through these comments real quick. Saul John, what's going on? How you feeling? KC, what's going on? You said you're losing weight, so you're in a deficit. It makes sense that you're not building muscle as effectively as if you were in a maintenance, correct? You're not building muscle as effectively. You should be still building muscle. I don't know if you're gonna. I mean, it just depends. Like, it just really depends. Sometimes you don't really need to eat all that type of food just to think that you're gonna be building muscle, and you don't always need to be in the building phase. Sometimes you got to take off and get in the detail phase or get in like an endurance phase, or different things do different things to you. Different exercises do different things to your muscles. And so if you change up your style of workouts, you may see different details in your muscles later on, or that start to carve them, that actually instead of you thinking that it made them grow, now they just stand out more because they have more definition or look better. So don't always think that, you know, working out like this is gonna make it grow, or I'm not building muscle. You may need to build details so that you have the shape and the definition and the other things versus just the mass. You feel me? So keep that in mind. All right. Oh, Caesar, I answered the question for you. Oh, about the foam roller. Okay, appreciate it. Yeah. For your knee. That's right. Hopefully that helped for your knee, the foam roller. Yeah, you was here last week. That's right. I talked about the foam roller last time. Hopefully that helped for you. And or tennis ball, those two things are real good. So, and then David Molina, you said, so more plays, more dates doesn't mean more plays, more dates. No, man. No. It doesn't. It doesn't. And you don't need to be going out on dates anyway. You know what I'm saying? Y'all could do stuff in the house. Like, y'all can figure that out. That'll be in my next video. KB's toxic way of talking to chicks. Anyway, y'all be good. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. And I appreciate all you guys' questions. And make sure you subscribe to the channel and follow me on Instagram. I'll see y'all later.